Hey there. Hey there. Welcome to the Lumiere channel. The song that is in my head as I'm about to do this reading is Shania Twain's Man, I Feel Like a Woman. And that's very interesting about a business reading. Hey to all the man or non-identified females or people. What? Oh my goodness, I forgot I'm doing this live. Hey J Willie. Hey Queen. Hey Boo Thang. Hey Boo. Hey girl. Anyway, I'm doing the task. Focus, loose focus. We're gonna be doing your money guidance this week, and it's particularly for those who are in business or starting a business or side hustle, like whatever that is for you, however this sits. We're gonna see what comes up for you, you know? Let's see what's going on. Ooh, I inquired about a job with one of my regular business customers. Come through. You better poach yourself a gig. Come on now. Let's get when it comes to business, when it comes to the business of your life, right? The business of your money making, the business of your career, the business of your livelihood, the business of the thing that you want to spend the rest of your life doing, or the thing that you want to invest in when it comes to your business and your money. What is that? We're going to be asking the angels from the angel answers. We're going to also be asking the angels from the angels of abundance. And we're going to be asking the goddesses to see what guidance they have for us in business. This is going to be a one-shot read. It's not really a pick a card unless you particularly believe a certain deck will have something more for you. Have at it. You can do it that way, but I'm tuning into this sort of vibe for those that need it. No, you're doing too much. Although, let's do it. That's so much. I don't know who they think they are when they give me so many cards. You know what I mean? Like, I have other things to do with my life than to be out here trying to play with 5 cards from one deck when I'm doing a 3-deck read. Get out of here. Mama Odie, come out. Let's get the lady or ladies. You know they like to come out in pairs. They don't hang out by themselves. I tell you what. They love hanging out in pairs. Okay. Come on. There they go. Of course, these two are hanging out. This whole space is a hot mess. Loose. Get it together. Ooh, some very interesting queens came out. Okay, let's get into it. I can't even see half these messages. I can't see them. Let's put these to the side and we'll come back to it. Ugh, they really don't want to be on the side. Blah. Okay. It's kind of tilted. Okay, so, hey, when it comes to your business guidance, we have recovery, which is really nice. That's actually really comforting whenever I see the recovery card. We have no in reverse. That's a soft no. It really looks like on to me, honestly. It looks like success, exclamation point. Come fucking through, bro. I don't think you can see this on the filter I have it on, but success, exclamation point. I bet this shit looks so blurry. I'm having so much trouble with my new device. It's irrelevant. Ask for help from others. This is amazing. I think Jay Willie was out here talking to other people, so that's really good. Perfect timing, which is lovely. This is a very supportive message. And then we have ask for your needs to be met right here in this sort of area. And focus on your priorities over here in this. They really do not want to be on the side. Oh my god. And then the ladies that came out are Branwen talking about forgiveness. And we have Iris talking about communication. And finally, we have our girl Freya, who's out here talking about radical acceptance. Now, what does this all mean for business? It means quite a lot. It means quite a lot. It means you are slated for success in the business ventures that you're going for. It's just you can't do it alone. Collaboration is going to be important. Working with others, talking to others, paying attention to your market research. Who are the people that you're serving? Who is the person, the sort of client profile that you're looking into? What do they want? What do they like? What are they wanting? And how are they wanting it? And when are they wanting it? Timing is going to be important. I believe if you are holding off on making your venture come to life, I think that's okay. So long as you're holding off for reasons that are true and not bullshit. But I feel like if you have something of a timeline that's good, try your best to stick to it. But otherwise, things will be happening in divine timing. If you do get an idea for a business, you do get an idea for starting something, it's worthwhile for you to hold on to it at this time. Put it in your pocket, write it down, think about it every so often and see how it develops. See where it takes you. See what it adds to your daily life, how you think, and how you move, because there's something about that idea that's going to be helpful. If you share this idea with others, which seems to be okay, especially people that you trust, they might have some insight for you from an outsider's perspective. When I say outsider's perspective, I mean someone that isn't you. I mean someone that sees you in the way that you don't see you. So they might come up with some criticisms, constructive criticisms, like, oh, okay, how do you want to do that considering you do this, this, and this? They will bring up things that you may not have thought about in a way that you may not have thought about it. And don't take this to be, oh, they're dampening my fire. Don't look at it like that. Look at it in a way that they're basically giving you the shortcut, the feedback that people will be giving you at this time, right? Whether it's you sharing with a friend, you sharing with clients, and they're giving you feedback about your services, your product, whether you're dealing with an advisor, a mentor, whatever, the feedback in general is just a general energy that you'll be getting about this thing. Is think of it as feedback. Think of it as something useful. How can you use it? Not how can it affect me? How can it dampen my spirit? Not how can it stop me, but how can it move me forward? How can I learn from this? So for instance, I just got some feedback from a friend about some business things, and I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it because I'm just not in the mood to hear it. I just don't want to hear it. Like, leave me alone. I just need to cry about something. I need someone to pat me on the back and go, oh, woo, woo, woo. Oh, honey, you're right. It is hard. Why can't things just work the way you want them to? But there is bits of truth in that feedback. There is a gift in that feedback. There is something in that feedback for you to digest and for you to look at, for you to consider, for you to open yourself up to when it comes to your business and moving forward. It's not something that you really want to do, but it's something that will be helpful. I would say take it slow. React how you're going to react to anybody that sort of gives you type of feedback. But when you are in a better state of mind, try to see how you can implement the jewels from that feedback, because there can be a lot of shit that comes with that. It can come from the wrong person. It can be said in the wrong way, but there is an element of gold. There is an element of value in what they're saying, an element of value, a segment of value in what they're giving you and what they're sharing with you. So how can you digest that and use it in your own authentic way? Men's shirts, short skirts, totally crazy. Man, I feel like a woman. There's a lot of female energy here. Obviously a lot of decks have a lot of female energy anyway, but we have these minority women, these sort of women of color here that are showing up. And I feel like there's something about authenticity. You have your authenticity in your business, in your venture, that is important to you. And when you hear something that you don't really want to hear, or something that you are rejecting hearing, or rejecting doing, aren't so friendly with, trust that there's something in there for you. But there's also some gold in that. So how can you make the feedback you're hearing that makes you give that knee-jerk no reaction? How can you make that feedback work for you? How can you communicate that in a way that makes sense for your spirit in your business, for the uniqueness of your own gift? Oh my goodness, thank you so much, J. Willie, for the super chat. That's so sweet of you. Thank you so much. I want to look into Iris's message of communication here, because I feel like that's something that will be helpful. The alignment message, which is amazing that we're getting alignment messages here, just as you're facing a moment when communication between you and others may have become disconnected. Perhaps people are withholding information from you or are not being clear about their motives. Now is the time to ask for clarity and to get clear yourself, right? If you're sitting on the fence or ambivalent about your direction, say that. Your alignment task is to say no to playing games, no to coercion or manipulation and covert intentions. Take a straightforward attitude. Don't be afraid to hear what might disappoint you, right? Be clear and demand the same from others. The messenger goddess Iris knows the importance of clear communication, and she urges you to speak up for yourself. If you've come from an environment, family, or cultural history where you have not had a voice, this might feel like you're yelling, but that's all right. Times are changing. Times are changing, and now is not the time to be shy. It's okay to feel awkward or flustered, but the goddess Iris brings her powers of clarity and says it's your turn to be heard, so gather your courage. The people who are important to you, right? Ask for help from others along the way. Excuse me, I lost my spot, baby. The people who are important to you in the long run will listen and witness you, and then you can engage in positive conversation that leads to heartfelt solutions, success, and perfect timing. Even if your voice feels untrue and comes from a victim mentality, you must still speak what is inside you in order for you to heal or change it, or to find a way to the real truth. Let yourself be heard, and the great goddess will send strong teachers and wonderful allies for you. And that's true, right? So whomever it is that you're getting feedback from, this recovery is a beautiful thing, because it's hopefully a conversation that if this is happening with a friend or a loved one that you can converse with, this is really good. If it's happening with a client that you won't, you're okay with expressing yourself in a way, then that could be helpful for you in the long run anyway, because you're then giving your thoughts a voice. And who knows, in 2 days, 3 days, 2 weeks, 1 month, you might agree with them. But the fact that you are able to also express why you do what you do the way you do it, why you don't want to do the things that you want to do or don't want to do, whatever the case may be, is important. Just the expression of that is important. I know there have been times when for instance, I was working with a spiritual mentor and she was talking about the highest good and the highest good of all. And I was like, I don't fucking care about the highest good of all. Like in my heart, like I can say that with my mouth, but in my heart, I'm like feeling rejected about that. Like, no, what if the highest good of all is me not getting anything? And I said, I don't want that. I just want to talk about the highest good of me. And that's such a selfish thing to say. That's such a wounded thing to say. That's such a, like, it's such a not great thing to say. But in me giving that part of me a voice and exhaling that energy out, baby, within a week, I was like, yeah, absolutely, for the highest good of me and the highest good of all. It worked out the way it needed to work out. So for you who is interested in business, essentially, there's going to be some feedback that's going to be important to you. It's going to be important for you as something that you get to rebel from and then find your peace in there. There's going to be some nuggets in that shit, in that mess that comes out. There's going to be a response that you get that comes your way. But this is good. This is for your recovery, for your mental mindset, for you to move in your business. Something about that conversation and what it yields within you, what it produces within you, will lead to success. It's going to help you move through things. And when it comes to like doubts and what you were thinking of doing, there is such a thing as perfect timing. There is such a thing as that. It's just, it may not look perfect. Perfect doesn't mean birds are chirping, sun is shining. Sometimes perfect can mean, I am so angry, I am so frustrated with holding this in. Fuck it, I'm just gonna launch right now. It is what it is, whatever. Right? No plan. That is still perfect timing. That is still divine timing. Ask for help from others is another area of this where there will be others' voices. But it is important to share some things that you're thinking of so that you get the feedback and the foresight. I don't think I finished the sentence earlier of where when you share something with someone and they flag up some things, oh, but hey, don't you have all of this other stuff on your plate? Then that's a flag for you to start considering, why, yes, I do have these other things on my plate. How am I going to realistically bring this dream, this idea, this hope into my reality? How am I going to make time and space for this? Is this something I can do? Are there some things I am going to have to move aside? Because we do have focus on your priorities there, and we have asked for your needs to be met, which you may not be doing. Are there people asking for help from others in your world who can take up some of the responsibilities that you have, who can assist you with your business ventures or with your daily tasks in your life or your resources that you need in order to make things work in your world? Right? Who are those people? What are those resources? There's something here about you stepping into your power in a roundabout sort of way, about you stepping into this role that is demanding or really asking of you to put on a different clothing. Men's shirts, short skirts. That's asking you to wear a different hat, to flex a different muscle. That is, it's like ascending. It's asking you to level up. It's asking for more of you, more from you than you have been giving. And that's not to say you've been giving less. That's just to say you're asked to step into a new role. When someone goes from being a single person to being a parent, it's not like they were less before, but when they become a parent, more is asked of them, more is required of them. And when you are in a business, more is asked of you, more is required of you, right? So but then you have to find a way that is authentic to you. Again, men's shirts, short skirts, what makes sense to you? What feels good to you? What's a way that you can do what you need to do and still have fun? Whoa, totally crazy. And enjoy what you're doing as opposed to feel like it's a task and so heavy and like it shouldn't have that much resistance. And if you are feeling that much resistance and heaviness over something that you hear, something that you feel you have to do, if it's that heavy, the timing isn't right. The timing isn't right, and you might have to accept that you may not be fully ready to step into that hat. You could be ready at some point when it no longer feels so heavy, when there's no longer that much resistance in that area. You might need to focus on other parts of your world in order for that to be softer. There's some things that I've done in my many ventures that I didn't want to do, but I did them when the difference between doing them when I was ready and doing them when I wasn't ready is a world of difference. Something that you think will take, I mean, stuff took like 10 minutes, okay? And then you wonder, why did I wait so long to do something that would take such a short amount of time? But the thing is, your resistance is gone. Resistance is such a real thing. And if you're feeling major resistance towards something, it's important for you to give yourself the space and the timing to do what you need to do for yourself. Let's look at forgiveness and Bronwyn here, because there's something here about this energy that is important to the recovery, as well as asking for what you need and even asking for what you need from yourself. Sometimes we unintentionally cause hurt or pain to others. Sometimes our motive really is to hurt. Now is the time for self-inventory and making amends. Your alignment task is to be 100% accountable for your thoughts, feelings, beliefs, motives, and actions. You are not doing this, however, to experience forgiveness from someone else or even from yourself. It's to have the strength and fortitude to be accountable and take responsibility for your actions. In this way, neither guilt nor shame can take root in your heart. Stand empowered and humble with your head high, no matter the consequences. You will always be the beneficiary of such an act. The goddess Branwen says deep healing comes from this kind of courage and respect. And I feel like this is about maybe not taking certain action, or about your integrity, and trying to figure out, or trying to get real with the way you communicate your needs, the way you communicate what you need, the way you go about pressure. There's something here about pressure, like pressuring yourself and pressuring the world around you. Finally, I want to end with radical acceptance and Freya. She says, when you see life as a battleground, I love this because Freya is a beast. Actually, Freya is a beast, and she's basically saying, like, I know what Freya's message is, but I enjoy reading it. And she rarely comes up in the reverse, man. She rarely comes up in the reverse, because she's like, you're a bad bitch, and you're gonna fight like a bad bitch, and you're gonna take an L like a bad bitch. Like, you're gonna do what you need to do, because you need to do what you need to do. We need to keep things moving. Like, we're gonna move past this recovery stuff. We're gonna move past this forgiveness stuff. We're gonna move past this people stuff. Like, you're gonna move past this stuff, and success is yours. It's like, it's coming. I love that Branwen came out being like, yo, 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 yo. Let me speak. When you see life as a battleground, you lose sight of a more easeful way to be in the world. Can you stand in the middle of the chaos and allow yourself to center in the quiet hum in the eye of a storm? Let the peace of Freya, the Norse goddess of war, enter your mind. Amid the flurry of battle, she came to collect the fallen and bring them to a place of rest and recuperation. Freya is here to remind you that the acceptance of defeat is not the end. She offers the gift of acceptance, that knowing that there is nothing to resist right now. See your world at face value and look into it with discernment. When you see with greater clarity, not taking this world so personally, you will not have to fight at all. You will take full stock of your conditions, surrendering to what is, and you can move to higher ground, begin again, or wait until the drama dies down on its own. Perfect timing once again. You are the strongest, most grounded, and most powerful when you remember this is the strategy the goddess Freya offers in your support. And she offers radical acceptance. Right? I feel like here, the gift that comes up with this is, if you've done business before, if you've tried many ventures before, and maybe you are still recovering from those, maybe you are still moving through the failure or what have you of those, or you're thinking about the past, the people that you've known that have not done so well in whatever so well means. Maybe they were successful in business, but other parts of their life were very lacking. Or maybe they failed in business and you saw what toll that took on them. Or maybe that happened to you. There's something here about, if you are going to repeat that, if you are going to rise up and answer a new calling or multiple callings, there will be success. It's just that there also comes with this message of recovery and learning from the feedback that you've taken from the past experiences of yourself, of other people, and how you can take that information and move forward. I think there's so many really great deep messages here, and this feels like it's talking to different groups of people, or the energy is just sort of really overlapping as I read in layers. So I'm really curious to know who this is resonating for. Please go ahead and leave a comment in the comments and what your venture is. That would be really cool to put that energy out there. But asking for your needs to be met is important in this new venture that you're moving forward. What is the kind of feedback that you need? Even when we go back to that issue or question on feedback, what is the kind of support that you need? And being honest about that the kind of support that you need sometimes is like raw honesty. But are you in a place where you can receive that raw honesty? Are you too sensitive? And if you are too sensitive, like Iris says, baby, that's okay. You can be sensitive, and information can feel like it's attacking you, but make sure you express that, because even in that moment, there is a gift. There is a gift in that moment of you knowing that you are feeling attacked by what you're hearing as feedback. Why does it feel like an attack? Why does it feel like that? And what can you learn from your past experience that's going to help as you move forward with this new venture or this new way of moving? You are being called to a new level. You are being called to level up, to rise higher. You know, that whole thing we were talking about earlier, especially with Freya here with this radical acceptance. But how can you hold space for yourself in that journey as you step up? How can you hold space for your doubts, your fears, your whatever, and still do what you need to do? How can you hold space for your priorities that currently exist and the things that you need to do in business, right? The things that you want to rebel against. I mean, maybe that's just me. Like, there's some things that I want to rebel against because fuck that noise. How can you rebel against those things, but also take the sifted, unfiltered rather, bare bones of that guidance and make it into your own authentic way. For instance, a really big principle in business is consistency. Right? But what does consistency mean? Does consistency mean posting every day? Does consistency mean having the same voice every day, the same type of wording in your product or your service? Does consistency mean, like, what does consistency mean? People can say be consistent in your business, be consistent in your ventures, but what does that mean to you authentically? What does that look like to you authentically? Right? Like, whittle that down. If people say, oh, well, you've got so much stuff on your plate, basically there's going to be there's going to be some things that are going to come up for you. There's going to be some things that are going to come up for you with this business venture. But what I want you to take away from this, because we've talked about at least 3 different kinds of topics, 3 different kinds of messages have come out, which intermingle, but what I want you to take away from this is, if you do get feedback, if you do get criticism, if you do get constructive criticism, if you do get sort of a client review, a friend review, a family review, when you are ready, re-look at that information and see what the nugget could be from that. Okay? And that nugget could be you rejecting it still. Okay, that nugget could be you saying, no, fuck that, I'm not doing that, and declaring to yourself that that's not what you're going to do, that's not what you're about, and that's getting you closer to a success. Because if you do that and you find, actually, I am in a roundabout way doing the thing that I was being advised to do, but I'm doing it in my own way, now you've gotten rid of the resistance that was there. I hope you understand what I'm saying. If you've been watching this from the beginning of the reading, which only makes sense, then you get what I'm saying. I just want to take that point home because there's a lot of people cards here. Okay, there's a lot of external stuff here that is going to affect your internal, and there is success, but perfect timing is also here, where again, sometimes perfect timing is not birds chirping, sun shining. Sometimes perfect timing comes in the form of fuck it, I don't fucking care, and then you launch. Done. Like, perfect timing doesn't always mean, sunlight, angels singing. Like, sometimes perfect timing is you wake up and you're so just pressure is inside of you and you go like, I'm not going to follow convention. Fuck it. I'm going to do my own thing. And in doing your own thing, you learn something from that. And there's also some sort of wound here from either watching others or watching yourself or being afraid from something else that needs to be taken care of. There's a sense of forgiveness, of stepping into your power, stepping into your victimhood, stepping into your wounds, stepping into your truth, as uncomfortable or ugly as it might seem, and voicing it so that you can give it life, so that it can breathe, so that it can exhale, and it can dissipate if it needs to. What up, Aisha, honey? So that it can dissipate if it needs to. And then that way, the energy that is truly the energy of recovery, the energy that is going to be leading you to the success, the energy that is no longer being pushed away by this no card, the energy that is no longer the energy of resistance in the shadow way. I'm talking about shadow here, guys. I mean, I don't like to say the word, but I love to say the word actually, but it freaks out some people, but it really is what it is. It gets rid of that angsty shadow energy, brings it to the light, and then you can move through. Yeah, and then this radical acceptance sort of capping the reading, being like, okay, we're still gonna do it. We're still coming. We're still coming. Okay, we're still coming. Okay, that didn't work. Fine. We will analyze. We will digest. We will assess. But we're still going to keep moving. We're going to keep moving in a way that makes sense. And we're going to make space for the things that we need to make space on. We'll focus on your priorities in the reverse. What are those things that we need to consider in order for us to bring our dream, our business, our ventures, our things that we want for ourselves into reality? Because there are things that we need to consider. How are we going to move in time? We only have 24 hours a day, but we also have 24 hours in a day. Who are the people we can ask for help from that we didn't ask for help from before? How we felt alone in our businesses, or how we didn't have that support? What elements in the business can we divvy out so that we can get the support that we need to do the things that we need to do business-wise, the things that we need to do in a personal life, things that we need to do, etc. Do we need to talk to our boss at work and ask for less hours? Yes. Do we need to ask for a different kind of schedule, maybe more hours to get more money for I don't know what your life is, but when there's a lot of messages here. There's a lot of messages here, but I hope that it helped whomever it needed to help. I hope that it hit the nerve of whomever needed to hear it and to feel sort of validated in everything that they're feeling and moving through. I know this surprisingly called me out with an experience I literally just had like 40 minutes before recording this that I'm still really angsty on, and I don't want to hear that news. I don't want to hear about it, but it is what it is. You make it work, whatever. So I wish you everything. I really do. I care about you, and I hope that you can let us know in the comments how this hit you. I think misery loves company is one of my favorite sayings, actually, and so does just, it's nice to know that you're not alone. It's not saying this is miserable, but it's nice to know that you're not alone in something that you're going for, something that you're moving through. I love reading the comment section because it helps validate the experience that I'm having, I see that it helps validate the experiences that other people aren't having. Even if it's one comment or 3 comments or anything, just someone saying, this resonated with me and this is what's going on in my business and this is how this has helped, or this is how I'm going to move, or this is something I'm struggling with. I think it demystifies and makes it so much more real to see that, yeah, in a success story or in a business journey or in any kind of journey, it's a journey, bro. Like, there's going to be different flows. So I appreciate you watching. If you would like personal reading for personal guidance on your business venture or whatever, come through. I enjoy that energy. I wish you everything. I really do. Keep your light on. Let us know what your business venture is in the comments. And good luck. Bye.